he is still really viable, but he maybe struggles compared to more regular and OG ADCs such as a Misfortune, especially, that got picked up by the side of Game Lord. So I'm intrigued. I think that these two drafts are rather strong. I do like the win condition, especially from the side of Trova Nova. They got an OG League PC wombo combo, which is the Cataclysm of Jarvan into the Orianna Shockwave. Those converge really well together, and also the bunch of CC added to that by Alistar and Gragas is going to make it really hard. But they do have a Mumu and Malphite. Those two, Malphite engage, paired up with a Mumu engage. He's just going to be such an annoying character.
It'll be really interesting to see, especially just because you look at the composition of the ultimates in just across the board. You have Gragas, who's all about displacement, Orianna, who's about grouping, Alistar, who's all about displacement. You have Varus, who's about keeping people together. You have Jarvan, who's about stopping someone from moving. So it's a little bit of a mishmash of different kind of ideas, but when you put them all together, it can make for a very, very strong combo of just being able to isolate targets and delete them before they even have a chance to react.
That's going to be the main combo coming out. The win condition for Game Lord. Get rid of the, of course, field of view. There we go. We're going to be getting rid of the Fog of War. As Ika, a little bit too deep maybe in this one, but he is going to be a Rakan, so he can easily dash away if needed. But Trova Nova, they're not going to get too overzealous. I do understand why they wanted to, though. Reason why, Umumu is a very weak early game jungler. You don't want to really take that fight. And I understand why the invade potential was coming out from Trova Nova, but they saw the team being there just is not worth it, because we did have a match actually happen yesterday. I'm not sure if you actually saw that happen. It was a Game Lord. They were trying that stuff out in their draft and their game by role swapping, and they lost 2-0 very dominantly. So I think here they're going to revert back to something more usual and maybe not experiment too heavily in this tournament.
Yeah, I think the time for experimenting, I mean, you still have a bit of a chance to experiment right now early in the stages of this event, but you really want to be bringing your A game, because each of these matches is so important. You only play each other team once, and that is going to be the tiebreaker if there is a tie at the end of things.
No.
I was watching bottom lane.
Razor was about to make it out of the range of Vejos, but he flashed back into Vejos, and he just got killed by the clockwork wind-up of the Orianna that makes it every single basic attack she hits even harder. And that's Corki that, in terms of comeback potential is not great. He needs to get some good early game if he wants to be up there. So very unfortunate. But yeah, first blood for Trova Nova. That's 500 gold for the Orianna. And Orianna is really not a character you want to give that gold early to.
Yeah, not at all. Orianna is known as being one of those control mages that can just kind of play safe, but late game just is an absolute monster of damage. And if you give her that extra bonus early game, it's just going to be that late power is going to be accelerated that much more. And that is a very, very scary thought.
Top side, Mowgli going to take a little bit of damage. I'm seeing Jarvan currently. He's going to be doing the enemy jungle camp. He picked it up, so he's going to get himself a little bit more gold. But I think he's going to try and converge, especially onto Mowgli. But Mowgli, of course, being a tank, Malphite years, he's going to be good. Does flash away initially. Known that Vex did not have level 5 for the Cataclysm, and same for also Clemmer. I think that's a very premature flash. They're not going to be available for the next engagement, but better safe than sorry, I would say, Tasty.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you know the enemy jungler is nearby, or if you even think that the enemy jungler is nearby, I should say. You just want to get yourself out of dodge, make sure that you don't give that early kill over to your opponent. Meanwhile, underneath that mid turret, Reza is in a lot of trouble again, taking a lot of damage from Vejos.
Yeah, he's struggling quite a bit. This is why I prefer actually Corki more in the mid lane, in the bottom lane position. I think that with a support, he's able to just roam a little bit freer and have just more breathing space. So mid lane, it is okay, but match up into Orianna, which I think is the one moving back. But we said it, the power spike for especially Hydra is going to be that Chain of Corruption ultimate. He's currently level 6, so they are going to get fully ready as the reset is slowly coming on through from Trova Nova. They want to set the scene for this next Drake. Well, this first Drake actually, as it's going to be an Infernal Drake. You definitely do not want to give this one up.
Or Malphite. Not at all. You can see everyone grouped up here.
Malphite's going to be good engaged, but unfortunately no team follow-up. Shockwave onto Zero to cancel out the bullet time. That's going to be good, but in the bottom side of the time, that is going to be the Jarvan out of commission entirely, so that's going to be the first kill finally going over to the side of Game Lord. They're looking good, but they took some severe damage, so Drake is not going to be an option just yet.
Yeah, neither team are going to be able to pick up that objective for now, as everyone has to sort of back off, reset. One kill getting found, especially on the jungler, that pretty much guarantees that you're not getting that objective anymore. But like you mentioned, Trova Nova was able to do enough damage to the rest of Game Lords to force them to have to back away as well. But now it looks like Vex going right back at this dragon. This is very risky.
Yeah, fight 2.0 for the Infernal Drake, of course. Whichever team's able to get it, he's got good late game scaling potential. Careful though, Grizz getting a little bit too deep. They're going to try maybe hit himself a little bit more CC though. Corki way too deep. Why did he dive into the entire enemy team? What a mistake coming out from Game Lord. And now they're just going to follow up on that fight, potentially push them back to their base. They are down to mid HP, so I would not recommend Game Lord to overstay their welcome. But Zero feeling damn confident with a misfortune, which you would not expect. But yeah, that was a misplay from the Corki, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a mistake. You know, could be a mistap, could just be a little bit of overconfidence, expecting some follow-up from the team that just wasn't there. Either way, it is forcing everyone to back off. Lots of recalls trying to come through, but Alistar going in.
Double CC right away, and there you go. The Chain of Corruption comes on through from this guy, and he's going to be looking pretty dire for the start of Game Lord. They go on pretty low. They do pick up the Alistar. Great stuff. Especially Hydro, going to be on the backside. Great Cataclysm also, but Malphite had time to respawn and join up on the fight. They're also low. Can they follow up? I mean, this is just going to be Veros farming these guys of Game Lord just like their minions. And that's going to be already up to 6 kills. And you're looking at Veros. He's already up to how many kills? He's already to 3-0. He's looking amazingly good in this game. And he's showing no signs of slowing down. It's just the Orianna hype train.
Yeah, able to just clean up some of these kills. That's going to be a lot of gold into his pocket. You see by far the most gold in the game by almost over 1,000 gold over anybody else in the entire game. And the second most gold is actually going to be belonging to this Gragas as well. So really good gold leads here for the side of Trovo Nova. And they're, again, everyone's just going to be posturing up around this dragon. Nobody wants to let this objective go over without a fight.
This is going to be a third fight for the same Drake. I mean, it shows that it's going to be really close between these two teams of Trova Nova and Game Lord, which for the entire BO3 series is hyping me up quite a bit, though. Be careful, you have no vision. That's going to be Moogle in a pretty bad spot. Going to have to move away. He's going to get stunned. Yes, he is, but the team is not going to be too greedy, especially with Corki nearby. But Moogle going for the backline. Gets a double man stun. Unfortunately, he kicked a little bit too far, and that's going to be maybe another mistake coming out from Razor, though. He's going to be able to soak up the damage just fine. Great ultimate, by the way, from the Gragas, pushing everyone away. But the team is just not there as they suffered already way too much damage. And is this another Drake fight? It's just not going to round up as being a Drake taken? Another, yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, no Drake.
You know, one team gets a couple kills, but they end up with too little HP to be able to be willing to stick around. But I mean, that fight I feel like was a bit of a mistake from Trovo Nova. The Alistar went all in onto the Malphite. That's just not the target you want to be focusing on, especially at the start of a fight. But now it looks like GML are going to be looking to start up this Drake, but they immediately, as soon as they realize that Gragas is lurking around the corner, they do decide to back off. So again, still no one taking this objective, but it does look like instead they will look to push mid here. So going to get some of these plates, going to get some of that bonus gold for Trovo Nova, as they are able to get just the one plate before they do decide to back away.
All bottom side, double knock up. There's nothing that really Gragas can do. That's going to be an instant casualty, and also followed up with a Jarvan, and he's going to be the second frag going away of Game Lord. And they're going to be trying to trade these plates, get some gold coming their way to try and get back into a leading position. There's another great knock-up coming out from this Rakan. That was an amazing one. The Chain of Corruption is huge from this side of course, Hydro. And Moogly is going to be an extra casualty in that fight, though. Corki going rather deep, but it actually pays off this time around. He's going to go down, though. He's able to get it with the shield, and he survives the encounter. And this might just be the first ace, but no, it's a little bit mistimed. We'll call it an unofficial ace regardless. But Tasty, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think these teams want this Infernal Drake. They really want it.
They're not even going for it, though. That was actually just a fight for the bottom turret. They got they actually could have gotten the kills and then gone to Infernal Drake, but instead that Rakan knockup was actually just to buy time so that the Misfortune could finish knocking down that bottom tower. So they do get the first turret of the game, and then find a couple extra kills. That Corki shutdown onto Orianna is massive. As you can see, the amount of gold that just got funneled into the side of GML, they're now feeling confident. They're going to come start this Drake, and we might have another fight on our hands.
Yeah, Malphite going to go for the TP instant. Oh, I believe for the moment he lands. Is he ready to go? Not yet. He's going to be waiting for a better opportunity. But there you go. That's potentially the wombo combo. The damage coming on through is going to be huge, but the peeling is going to be present, especially from this Orianna. And the Chain of Corruption connects a double man route. There's nothing the Game Lord can really do. And there's so much back and forth in this game. This is such an intense matchup as Clemmer picks up the Corki. And is this going to be finally the Infernal Drake going down? I believe so. It is. Yes, finally. Thank you.
Vex needs to be careful.
Oh, no?
Vex needs to be real careful. Does get the shield from Orianna and will survive, but if his team didn't get there, he was about to get executed. However, they do finally secure that Drake. Rift Herald has already despawned before the first dragon was even captured because there was so many fights around that Drake. And so the next objective, that to spawn, will be this Baron. And you're going to immediately start seeing teams posture up around this top side of the map instead. And these fights have been so chaotic.
Team Leg gonna have another chaotic fight on the top side versus Moogly. Moogly not able to do anything despite him normally being tanky. I'm gonna check him. I believe he's maybe going AP. Isn't he going AP? He's got Rod of Ages already, so he's gonna get a little bit of extra HP and also extra AP by building it so early on, which I do like pretty early on an AP Malphite, but overall he's going to be aiming for damage in this one. Alistar going into the backside. Great double man knockup. Is the follow-up going to be there? Orion on the side. Double man shockwave in the chain of corruption. The CC is way too much. As now I can continue diving up. This is going to be the Alistar tanking, and the HP bars of Game Lord are melting to smithereens, and there's nothing they can do. Gragas joins the party. Great barrel. Knocks straight away that remaining Corki into the rest of his team, and that is going to be not only 4 kills picked up for them, but also an easy Baron pickup.
Yeah, Mumu, the only member left for GML. He's just going to be recalling, not going to have a chance to get back out onto the map in time to try and contest this Baron. You know, he could have looked for a steal if he had been able to get there a little bit quicker, but it would have been such a risky play that, you know, the payoff really wouldn't have been there because none of his teammates would have been up. So it would have just been denying the Baron and giving himself up for it. So now Trova Nova with the Baron buff on all 5 members. See where they decide to make a play. The Jarvan sitting in base, waiting for an item. He is going to be having that the Guardian Angel now completed as well. So that's going to make him a lot stronger in these fights. You know, these fights that have been so hectic, so chaotic. He's usually actually been targeted pretty heavily. So if they do focus him, he's just going to be able to get back up and rejoin the fray. But the real big thing to keep your eye on is this Orianna. 9 kills and 5 assists with only 1 death. Absolutely phenomenal play here from Vejos.
He's going to be doing some really good work in this game, and that double shockwave last fight, I gotta say, was just the sealing fate, especially, and Game Lord was just not able to do anything against that. We were talking, especially Tasty early on in the draft, about how good the combo of Amumu and Malphite is. We haven't seen that. I haven't seen it once happen, maybe like once on one character, but it was not hitting as many targets as you might expect, which is showing, though, that you're looking at Trova Nova. They are playing rather split away from each other to especially avoid that combo from actually landing. So, of course, a lot of respect in the way of Trova Nova, as going to have the Varus in the bot side, picking up a tower, looking for the second potentially, as they're all in mid when the bot lane is getting pushed. Game Lord, where you guys at?
Yeah, they're defending the mid lane turret, but they're losing their bottom one in the process. However, are they going to look for an engagement here? You have to make a play somewhere at some point here. They know they're behind, so they are playing very defensive, very passively. And like you mentioned, credit to Trova Nova, knowing that the win condition for a team fight for the side of GML is that big wombo combo, the multiple knockoffs between Malphite, Rakan, the stun from Amumu, with the Misfortune ultimate layered on top of all of that. It could turn a fight in an instant, and they are aware of this. So that's why they are playing this more spread out style, you know, going for the side lanes, not keeping people clumped up together. It's not allowing GML to get that huge team fight that they need.
Oh, Rolly Stone going straight back to base. He's going real far. He's going to connect on the Varus eventually. But Trova Nova, definitely, they've been playing a really good game here. And they got the first Infernal Drake, which means that the later the game goes, the more impactful that Drake buff is going to actually end up being. And the next Drake, talking about it, is going to be a Mountain Drake, which, if they're able to get those two, I think is going to be somewhat sealing the fate of Game Lord in a bad way for them. Unfortunately, they're going to be struggling quite a bit. They still have that one-way combo that is offering a good comeback opportunity, even if they are behind, even if Amumu and also this Malphite are just feeding their hearts out in this game and really not doing good. Their ult is just so impactful, it doesn't really matter if they're fed or not. So they can still make this comeback happen, but it's going to require some insane synergy from Game Lord. As unfortunately engaged on top of them once again. Alistar going to be tanking up the fight, not taking any damage. Bullet time a little bit far away. The Malphite engages, but without the rest of the team. What is happening? And that's going to be the only ultimate of the Amumu. And the 3-man shockwave. That was an insane engage. Once again, coming out from Vejos. And this is just the entire team of Game Lord not finding any opportunity to deal the damage or even survive the damage they are receiving. As Raze are going to try and survive that when I move away. But what can you say? Orianna. That's what you have to say. Orianna. There you go. That's my point.
Yep. And again, just a great game plan from Trova Nova, recognizing what their opponent's win condition is and playing around it. They did not group up once. Even during all those dragon fights we had earlier on, they were never clumped up in a group. It was always spread out fights, you know, 1 or 2 members getting split off or picked off. And that's the way that you have to play against a big all-in wombo combo kind of ultimate composition. And they were able to play against it extremely effectively, kept their distance, waited for the engage to come to them, and then just used that Orianna ultimate to just blow them up as soon as they tried to go in. Really great stuff from Trova Nova.
Yeah, really good stuff as we're going to be checking out the builds for them.